Good morning, AMKS Goddess listeners. This is the Goddess coming to you live, speaking what you think but are too afraid to say. I've spoke to you guys many times about all of this stuff that's going on. And there's not much we as the community can do. And I know that. It's unmanageable ability at its finest. And if you're an alcoholic or ex-addict, you know that. I know I don't have the corona, by the way. Just your average cold is what they're calling the coronavirus. It is a strand of influenza, which is, by the way, pneumonia or the flu. There are many strains of influenza. However, the government has been doing, frequency testing since the 1970s. And they have come to a point in their life where we have to have these 5G towers. And they have to take out the trees in between because it blocks the frequency. Well, why do they need frequencies that can't go through trees? Doesn't the 4G go through trees? What's the difference? Well, the 5G frequencies are so dense and heavy, and the gamma rays that they put off of them can cause animals, insects, can cause birds to fall out of the sky. It can cause your body to bend over like you have serious cramps. And I'm telling you this because this is from my own research. I've literally, when the government was an open floor government that Obama and put out there, you could look at all this stuff. I've posted it on my Facebook. I've posted it on Twitter. I've posted it on Instagram. I used to post it on Google+. But they took that down. I don't have enough places to save all the stuff that I have been researching and pulling off the internet. You can't go to the Library of Congress unless you're there. And then you have to request to go in, and you have to request to see the microfilms that they have of the studies that they have done. And we all know our government has been doing secret studies for a long time. We're not crazy. Hollywood has made millions off of the studies and secret projects that our government has done, and the miracles that God has given to people. At this point in time in life, we are living out the manuscript of the Bible, plus a few other ones. If you look at Sylvia Browne's talking about a pneumonia-like flu. And see, they use different words, so we as Americans, we as the universe, we as a world get confused. What causes pneumonia? It's influenza. What causes bronchial problems? It's influenza. It is not just pneumonia, bronchitis, the flu. It is all the same strand, just been tweaked and modified a little bit. Like the swine flu, the bird flu. Those are all influenzas. This last flu breakout, not this year, but the year before, it was a mixture of all three. Now, I don't know how something that's over in another country comes over to America, two different ones, and ends up in America mixed in with the American flu. But it has. And none of these flu shots that they have given us has cured you or kept you safe. By the end of the flu season, you are still sick. So here's the truth. The truth is the vaccine that they're going to want to give us for this coronavirus, which is another strand of the influenza flu, is going to have the influenza in it. You know what I mean? It does. That's how they make the vaccine. All the flu shots have a little bit of the strand of what the virus is. All of the vaccines, the chickenpox vaccine, the, tuberculosis vaccine, that's why they say, if the bubble on your arm gets red or irritated, it means you have tuberculosis. No, it means that you have the genetic in your body to get tuberculosis. It doesn't mean you have tuberculosis. It means you have the genetic makeup to get it. Oh, gosh. I can't believe how much we don't understand what's going on in our own world. You know what I mean? So, we got the 5G. We've got this new strand of influenza, which is the coronavirus, which basically is a stronger mix, right? The guy from China said it's a mix between the bat and a snake, and it is affecting, he said, the animals. Well, they've been trying to kill off our animals so we don't have real food anymore. They want to have GMOs because they want to be able to control the population. The things we're putting in our body today, processed foods and all this stuff, breaks down our immune system. And I've been saying that they've been trying to terraform, which means they have been trying to cause evolution in the human body for decades now. And then with the chemtrails and the food, it's like the Batman movie all over again, when the Joker created a poison that if you wore the lipstick, the perfume, and the eyeshadow, you would die. If you wore only the lipstick, you wouldn't die. If you only wore the perfume, you wouldn't die. It had to be a combination. And that's what they're trying to work it out. Not all of us are made the same. The Rh factors are less prone to get sick. Let's put it that way. But they can't have children. Most of them have a hard time having children. And first off, there's a lot of inbreeding going on. That's why Princess Diana had a hard time. She was an Rh factor. And I'm getting off point right now. This whole lockdown is getting pretty serious, and there's nothing we can do. I mean, nobody wants to touch each other. Nobody wants to stand next to each other. Why is that? Because they're in fear. Fear of getting sick. In Hollywood, Netflix has really been on the money about this stuff. The contaminant outbreak. We've all seen outbreak with the Ebola, which was really crazy because the Ebola broke out. And then it is still, to this day, ravaging Africa. We don't speak about it anymore. They've got all these people, high up people getting arrested right now. And they're also not only getting arrested, but they are resigning from their positions. And they're given the opportunity to do this to keep their reputation intact. You wonder, keep their reputation intact. Why do they get the privilege of keeping all the money that they have made illegally, sex trafficking, drug business, powerful financial schemes? Why do they get to keep all their money? Why do they get to keep their fame when they done nothing but lie? Well, here's the truth of that. If they are disgraced, then the people that have been behind them, knowing or unknowingly, are also involved. A bunch of military people came together to try and correct the mistakes that are being done. You know what I mean? And so that's what's going on. And while we are distracted with this quarantine by our government, which is beyond me, you know what I mean? I'm already on the list. And it's a high candidate of getting this. Well, here's the truth of that. I get it every year. And it's called pneumonia. My bronchial tubes, I've always gotten it since I was a little girl. So, I've never taken the flu shot but one time, and I got so sick it wasn't even funny. They're not passing antibiotics down to nobody because they're not going to do any good for you. Somebody stated that an increase in vitamin C in alkaline water, which is lemon in a cup with hot water over it. That's what's going on. And I'm not sure if you guys understand the severity of what's going on. People are talking all kinds of things, and people are saying, fake news, stop posting things, take this down. And I'm not taking any of my posts down. Not for anybody. I'm sorry if you don't like my posts, but I trust the people that are giving me the information. You don't know them, you don't need to know them. You need to know if you trust me or not. And if you don't trust me, then you need to get off your butt, off your couch, stop watching CNN, and get out in your neighborhood and look. Unless you're petrified of what's going down. You know what I mean? I'm not. Yesterday I took a run through St. Louis City, because I'm like right on the border of Illinois, so I'm right across the river from St. Louis. And there was a ton of sheriff's paddy wagons all the way around the courthouse. And they're getting ready to, pick up people off the streets. The homeless people are all in the Brutal House. And I'm not sure, I didn't do any more research if that's government funded, because they closed down St. Patrick's. If you ain't got enough shelters for the homeless already, how are you going to take care of all the homeless when it hits? LA County is putting the ball in auditoriums and schools and churches. And that is just a big infestation of a place where all these people are going to get it. You know what I mean? They say that the heat stops the virus. I don't know of any virus that's ever been stopped by the heat. When you have pneumonia, they keep it cold. And pneumonia is just another strand of the influenza. So I've gotten a lot of things from people across the United States. I'm very grateful for that. The Crow House, he's an awesome guy from England or Britain, or I don't know, but he's great. And he's been talking about this before it happened. He's been talking about the 5G before it happened. And we have to start paying attention. We, the people, need to unite. All of this has been written in the Bible, and it's really crazy. And the other day I thought, what if this has happened many times before? The Four Horsemen ride. You know what I mean? And the great planet, the Red Dragon, it came and it went and it didn't do anything. What it did do is it flipped our planet on a different axis, causing what the government likes to say is global warming. We're not in global warming. We have been flipped and pushed into, you can call it an alternate dimension, but it's really not. It kind of is, but it's not. We're far away from where we used to be in the Milky Way. And things are going to get weird. Hold on, because I think we're going to have a blackout, too, of the world's internet. They're only going to watch what they want you to watch. And they're only going to hear what they want you to hear. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do unless you've got a pass to do it. And people, come on, dude. People had to have known about this prior. They're going to come into your house and take things from you that you have an abundance of. And they're going to say you're hoarding. And they're going to separate it and push it out to other people. You know, people keep saying, have enough food in your house for a month. You know what I mean? I have that. They're going to say a lot of stuff to you. But if the power goes out, all your food in your refrigerator will go bad. Do you know how to preserve it? There's a lot of lost arts we forgot how to do. People got into making candles again. People got into making bath soaps again. People have got into a lot of old trades that have been forgotten because mass production became like a popular thing. People don't know how to cook anymore. These are obvious statements. There's nothing that's going to change what's going on right now. We're in the middle of a national government takeover. This is going to be historically a new chapter in the world's history. So, be safe. Try not to get too famous. And let God lead you. In Jesus' name, I pray that everybody's safe. Have a blessed day. This is AMKS Goddess Radio. Saying what you think. Too afraid to say. Meow.